Hi YMCA members, it's Jackie. I am so glad that so many of you want to try Body Combat or have tried Body Combat for the first time. So I've gotten some requests for tips and tricks that all goes along with Body Combat. So we're going to make this an intro class. I'm going to just show you some movements to make you feel more comfortable taking a Body Combat class. So I'm going to back up so you can see my full body and we'll work through all the movements together. You need nothing for a Body Combat class other than just your body and some space. So to start out today, we're just going to first start about where we put our hands, okay? So there are different types of guards in Body Combat that we work through in a live class setting. The most basic one is just a boxing guard. So you take your hands, you wrap your fingers inside, and you take your thumb on the outside, and you just nice and gently bring your fists to the side of your face. Your elbows are pulled in close to your rib cage. Your belly is braced. You're gonna go ahead and pull that belly button through your spine. Shoulders are up, back, and down. And then you just take a little tiny crunch in forward, and then you got your guard. So in this guard, you're thinking about protecting down through the rib cage, and then also protecting your face from a counter punch if someone would throw it. Now, important fact, Body Combat is a non-impact sport. So we are not physically hitting anybody, no one's physically hitting us, but we use cues in a way to help you imagine that there'd be some type of impact or some meaning behind the movement. So we're gonna hold up in guard, we're gonna protect the sides of the body, just in case you're ever in a boxing rink. You'd wanna protect your rib cage right here from the counter punch. So you're gonna stand here in guard. Anytime you're in guard, you're always softening out through the knees. And that's important because you never really wanna lock out any of your joints, especially when exercising. Just be gentle and kind to your body. So soft knees, feet typically slightly wider than the hips. And we'll talk about stance up next, but your elbows are pulled in, drawn in close to your rib cage, and your guard is up. Okay, so this is your basic front stance, kickboxing guard. This is how we're gonna start, okay? Now, in Body Combat, sometimes we say a combat stance. So this is our front stance with our feet parallel. The only thing that changes when we say right foot forward or right Body Combat stance or right combat stance is you just take your right foot and you step it forward, your left foot goes back. So you went from this front stance with your feet nice and wide to 1 foot back, and that is it, right? Guard still stays the same. Here we are in our combat stance. So front stance, combat stance. Now we're gonna move on. From our front stance with our boxing guard up, we're gonna talk about a jab. So we're gonna throw a right jab, and you're gonna reach out as far as you can, and then you're gonna pull it back in. Reach, and then pull. Now, from the side view, we're gonna reach, and we're gonna pull back in. You bring your shoulder with you, so there's a little crunch forward, and you're reaching out. So you're engaging all of your core muscles down the side of your body, you're engaging your back muscles, you're engaging your shoulder muscles, you're squeezing your fists to really work through the bicep and the tricep and the arm, and you're pulling back in. So out and in is your right jab. Out and in. Left arm, same idea. Now as you throw the jabs, you're gonna start this rotation movement. Belly is braced, shoulders, right, left, right, left. So not only are your shoulders moving with your arms, your core is engaged and you're starting to have this twist action that happens, strengthening and sculpting your oblique muscles right here, okay? So really important that you get that shoulder action going. So let's try it together. Right, left, and then as you get this motion, soften into the knees and you can add a little bit of a heel lift. So you're gonna go right, left, and now look at what my heel's doing. Naturally swings, hips start to move, and you're gonna add some more power to your punch. So to warm up, you could be easy, soften through the knees, and then when you wanna drive through the power, you're using your shoulders, you're using your hips, you're using your legs to increase your power. Good? So that's the jab. Anytime we're in a front stance, it's a jab, right, left, okay? Now it gets funky when we take that right foot and step it forward and we do a jab and a cross. Now, a jab, still off the front foot. So right jab, left cross. Back foot lifts, heel comes up, and you're rotating through that hip on that cross. Jab, cross, jab, cross. Same idea with the shoulder action. So you're crunching forward a little bit, you're moving your shoulders slowly and evenly side to side, bracing that core, and just flow through the movement. Now from the side, I'm here, one foot is forward, one foot is back, punch, rotate, punch, rotate. You can slowly let the heels lift, balls of the feet stay down, relaxing through the toes. Now to make it harder, you're gonna use your legs more. Twist, twist. See what's happening with my legs? As I add force, I'm using that leg and the hip spin to draw my punch stronger, okay? So practice that. Same idea if we switched feet. Left foot can come forward, jab and cross. Left, right, right. The back arm is always the cross because you're crossing the punch from your body, back arm to the front. Cross, cross. Got that? Good. Now, your target for where you punch can vary. Typically, we are imagining we are fighting people around our height. So when we say jab, we're thinking of hitting where our nose would be, right into the center of the face, okay? So sometimes we like to increase the intensity and we'll say, lift that jab cross or jab up an inch higher. So that does not mean go ahead and punch up to the sky, but what it does is mean to take it from here and an inch higher. Just a little range change to really focus on sculpting out your shoulders, okay? And that you'll see come into play the more you take a body combat class. So that's the jab cross, that's the body combat stance. Basic starting principles of body combat. Then we move on, we like to add more punches in. So we have the jab, and then sometimes we'll transition right into an uppercut or a hook. And those are the most popular class punches you're gonna see from the upper body. So going from the jab, we're gonna start with this front stance from a hook. Let's work on this hook next. You still have the same body movement. Shoulders forward a little bit, abs tight, and instead of reaching out, you're crossing over, circular punch across your body. Now listen, right here is the lineup, okay? You're bending in the elbow, you're taking that guard, you're wrapping your elbow around, so that is it. That is the circle motion. You're here, you're back to guard. Up and back, it's a quick and sharp movement, right? What you wanna try to avoid is this big circle with the fist. When we say circular punch, people tend to want to draw the circle big with the fist, and that isn't it. You're here in guard, you're hooking and you're back. Hook, back. Now pay attention. What happens to my foot here? I'm hooking and I'm turning. So I'm releasing my heel, I'm turning my hip, right like that. That not only is gonna generate power, it's also gonna protect your knees, right? So instead of this and keeping the knee down or the foot down and letting your knee buckle in, which is gonna hurt your knees over time, you wanna lift the heel and snap back. Twist, come back, twist, come back. So let's just try that easy, right and left. So let's try right, then left, right, then left. So you can stay nice and lifted here, nice and easy, and as you wanna make it a power hook, you're turning and you're snapping. Right, left, right, left. Got that? Driving power through the hips, through the core. Power always starts from the legs. If you have power here, you're gonna feel it here, and you're gonna generate it out through the fist. Fists stay the same with that, thumb on the outside, wrap around and come back. Now, we see sometimes people wrap around, then drop their guard. You're gonna try and always bring your fist back to your cheek. Right, left, right, left. The only thing that changes is our stance. So we can do a hook right and left in a front stance, or we can bring our right foot forward or our left foot forward and do a front hook and a back hook. Your arm that's front is always driven by that front foot. So if I'm gonna say front hook, back hook in a right body combat stance, it'd be right arm, left arm, hook, hook, hook. Same idea, you can switch feet, left, right, right. Up and back to guard, up and back to guard. As you rotate and turn up the intensity, you're gonna get an awesome core workout. Your heart rate is gonna lift. Good, moving on. Uppercuts. Uppercuts will start in the front stance as well. So again, feet wider than your hips, shoulders up, back and down, belly braced. Bring your guard back up and crunch in just a little bit. Now the uppercut is my favorite punch. It uses the whole body, power from the legs and the core. You're gonna start at your guard. You're gonna drop down with the shoulder, right? So I'm gonna start with my right arm, right uppercut, out and in. Try it, out and in. You're keeping that bend in the arm, 45 degree, straight up, then back in. Up and out, up and out. So you're driving down, lifting up, hitting them around right underneath the chin, and then back. So one thing I forgot to mention about the hook. You're wrapping around, target is the temple. So we got the nose with the jab, we got the temple with the hook, that circular punch, little circles right to that temple, back to your cheek, and then the uppercut is right here underneath the chin. So you drop under, then you come back. So try that, right, left. Heels automatically lift, hip drives the power, core also brace tight to help lift and drive that power. Right, left, up and under, back to guard. What we also see a lot of in this is this, right? Where your hands are going wacky and all over the place. The movement is meant to be small and controlled. So you're up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, okay? From guard, back to guard. Guard, punch, guard. Think about that. Guard, punch, guard. All with the way back. Never this. That's gonna end up really tearing apart your shoulders. Keeping it strong and controlled right in the core is gonna help you find success. Same idea that we did with the hook and the jab to make it a front uppercut, right, left. Feet are wide and parallel. To make it a combat stance uppercut, a front upper and a back upper off the arms, you bring one foot forward. Right foot is forward here, so you got the right uppercut, back uppercut, right, left. Sometimes we start an uppercut off the back leg. We'll say back uppercut or rear arm uppercut, or if we can cue it correctly, left uppercut double off your back arm, which would look like this. Now listen, when you throw it off the back arm, watch my crunch down, right? See that rotation, see how my back heel lifts, down and up, down, up. Bring your shoulder with you to drive that rotation and work through the core, okay? Down, up, down, up. So that's the jab, that's the uppercut, that is the hook. In these punches, sometimes we go away from kickboxing and we do a little bit of martial arts based karate. So let's talk about that just a little bit. Karate stance is going to be grounded. You want to think about clear start and stop to every movement. It's focused on control, power, sometimes with some speed as well. So our karate guard is lower. Our guard or target is lower. So in our karate punch, our guard is going to start here and our target is the chest, right at the sternum. You're here and you're here and you're here and you're here. Now that's a karate punch, okay? Right, left. Watch the difference. Kickboxing, right, left. Punch, punch. Karate punch, you're grounded, feet are wider, knees are bent, squatting down, sharpen it. You can still pick that heel up, but you keep your guard at the rib cage, above the hip of the arm that's not punching, and you rotate. And you add your breath, exhale with power. Now when you strike, really squeeze your muscles tight. That's your clear start and stop, okay? Same idea, we can have our guard here. If we come into a combat stance, we're gonna bring one foot back. So I'm gonna lean my left foot forward this time. I'm gonna bring my right foot back. Karate guard here, right here, okay? Arms still low, lower than this, we're right here. If you're gonna start with a back punch, karate punch, it's off the back arm. You're here, here, here. Watch from the side. Feet wide, drop into a lunge, come back, right? See how sharp and controlled that movement is? To add on some power once you get the move, we can add on a step and a step. Stepping off that front foot, pushing off the back foot for a little bit more power, get that heart rate lifted. Moving on, some elbows. So elbows are typically on track 7 Muay Thai, and super short, super fast, but great work. Now, for the elbow, we're gonna start with the descend. Descend means down, right? So in a Muay Thai guard, our elbows are in, our palms are up. What happens with the descend elbow is your thumb is close to your armpit, you lift your elbow up as high as you can towards and over the shoulder, you slice diagonally across his face, come back to guard. Okay, so let's try it right, left, right arm, left arm. Look what's happening to my legs. I'm still bending my knees, I'm still releasing my heel. Now, awesome movement with this elbow is the crunch in the core as you drive down. Think about that. Body combat is a full ab workout standing up, but only if you use it. So use your mind to brace the abs and crunch, crunch. Let's show you from the side. So I'm here, my guard is here, palms open, fingers relax, crunch, 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 crunch. Driving your chest closer down towards your belly button, crunch in. But keeping nice and strong posture, right? You don't want to drop the chin, you don't want to relax down. You got to keep everything controlled from your core to protect the rest of your body. So that's the descent elbow. You're thinking about slicing through the bridge of the nose, from the temple, down through the nose, out the other side, okay? So that's descent elbow. Ascent elbow goes up instead of down, so it's the opposite of the descend. Ascend is going up. So let's try this one in more of a combat stance. I'm gonna have my left foot forward. You can join me in the left or the right. Guard is still up. I'm gonna start with my back arm and I'm coming straight up. Straight up. Okay, let's try that together. Palm still open. You're taking this elbow. You're going straight up. What happens here? Hitting the nose. Nope, hitting the chin, sliding up the nose, center of the face is your imaginary opponent target, okay? Up, and then you could add both elbows in, still slicing up, lifting up through the chest here, rotating the body. You can do it in a front stance too. Feet can stay wide. You're here, you're here, you're here, you're here. Straight up. Now, from the side, you're here, never here, right? Chest lifted. You want to think about this thumb still to the armpit, straight up. Good? Treble elbow is one elbow we sometimes use also in Muay Thai that goes on one plane. So, similar to the hook, but different. So the hook was here, using the fist. We're talking about elbow, so we're using the elbow. One plane, think about, you're going out, in, out, in. It can be 3 times, 3, 2, 1, stop, 3, 2, 1, okay? So just focus on the plane here. Thumb still in by the elbow, or by the armpit, and you're slicing across. Heel still lifts, so same motion as the hook, different striking point, right at that elbow, okay? So practice that one as well. You can change feet. That's a side elbow, sometimes we call it treble elbow, sometimes they have different names, but same idea with the movement, okay? So that covers Muay Thai for the upper body strikes. There is some other ones that fall in. I'm just giving you the basics. And if you have questions about other movements, send me a message and I'll get those tips out to you. So that's upper body strikes. Let's move on to the lower body. So in the warm-up, you'll see all the kicks pretty much we're gonna do in a body combat class. We like to do knees, we like to throw kicks. So let's start with the knee drive. Knees are always generated from the core. We like to lift our hands up. Now when we start with the knee, we want hand over hand, and the more you drive that hand in towards your hip, the more crunch you're gonna get, so more core engagement, okay? So think about pulling down, pulling down, pulling down, right to the hip. Now we're gonna add the knee to it. So you're gonna go right knee, left knee, right knee, left knee. Watch from the side. When I pull my knee up, I'm leaning back just a little bit, I'm pointing my toe down and dropping my hands to my hip, and then I'm going to the other side. Crunch, crunch. Good? That's the knee. Sometimes we double it, sometimes we triple it. The higher you get your range, the harder it becomes. So if you want to keep it small, you keep it small. To make it harder, you start to lift it up a little bit higher. We like to see eventually the range being belly button height if you can, okay? A lot of that height depends on how flexible your hips are, the strength in your hips, the power in your core. The stronger your core is, the better balance you're gonna have to get that knee a little bit higher. From there, we'll go to front kicks. So we've got the knee. So you can try this. You can balance. The front kick is out and in, down. Up, out, in, down. From the side, lift up, find your balance, out and in. The retraction is very important. We kick out and in, we flick, we pull back. One, kick them, and then get out of the way, putting the foot down so he can't grab your leg. Also, that retraction is important to work the back of the leg, okay? All right, so that's your front kick. You can walk through it. You can take some steps in between. We can add some arm to drive the power. Crunch, and throw your arm down if you want. If not, you can just keep it small in front of the body. Target depends on your kick height. So if you're gonna kick low, you're going for the knees. If you're kicking a little bit higher, maybe you're going for the belly. If you're leaning back and you're kicking really high, target can be the head. So that's your front kick, okay? Out, in, down is what you wanna think about, bracing that core. Now, from the front kick, we'll go to the side kick. You're gonna set one foot down, doesn't matter what foot you start with. Lift up one leg and look at where my knee's going. Knee to chest. I'm flexing my foot, you're pushing the foot away, and then you're driving it back in, and then you're putting the foot down. Okay, so balance here, knee to chest, heel leads the way, you push out, you crunch back in, you drop. This side kick is an awesome ab workout, awesome for your glutes, awesome for your hip and your outer thigh. So try it again. Guard is up, knee is up, out, in, down, out and down. And then you can start to speed it up. If you need balance work, help, you can put that arm out. We do sometimes cue that. Right here just helps with your balance. Arm goes out, other arm towards your rib cage, out, in, down, out, in, down. Try a couple on each side. See what works for you. It does not have to be high. You can kick straight down and back in, or you lean away to make it higher. That's the side kick, okay? Sometimes we turn our body and we side kick to the front. Sometimes we're facing front and we side kick to the side. It just changes depending on the release. Roundhouse kicks are up next. We'll start with just setting it up. So another important tip of the kicking is you're always gonna wanna set your heel of the standing leg that's not doing the kick towards the direction you're kicking, so towards your imaginary opponent, okay? So let's review in the side kick real quick. If I'm gonna kick my imaginary friend, Joe over here, I'm gonna look at Joe. If I'm standing like this, I'm gonna turn my heel towards him, and then I'm gonna lift my knee and push my leg out, okay? Now this is important, so when you stand on that leg, your knee is in line with your toe, okay? And so your knee is not buckling inside to the side. If you keep your foot planted like this and try and kick to the side like that, this knee could go in like that, and it's not good. So we step in, kick away, pull back, all right? That's super important for safety. Safety first. Good, now let's move on to the roundhouse. So my opponent this time is in front. So I'm gonna take my back leg, set my heel in, and to set up the roundhouse kick, you're bringing the leg out, away from you. So you're bending the body, or you're bending the leg, heel comes into the glute, arms can be out or up in guard, you're kicking out and in. So find your balance, arm can be out, arm can be in guard, you're out and in, out and in. That is the roundhouse. Now, from the side view, this was our side kick, right? Knee to belly, heel leads the way out, pull it back in. Roundhouse is here, it's a flick, out and in, okay? With the side kick, you're striking with the outside of your shoe and your heel. With the roundhouse, you're striking with the top of your shoelaces and your shin. So it's a flick and back down, flick, back down. To work this and get better at it, work on holding this, pushing the knee away, and strengthening and stretching out your hip flexor, okay? So work on that one. You can try it on the other leg. You're here, you're flicking out. Think heel to butt. For a nice challenge, you can even hold on to a wall or a chair and see how many roundhouse kicks you can get in a row before you fall over, okay? Just remember, target for your striking zone is your shin, top of the shoelace for the roundhouse. Out and in, okay? Set the heel first, then kick. Arms here or here. What's your preference? Doesn't matter, but the arms. Whatever works best for your balance. All right, so that's side kick, roundhouse. Let's just touch on our back kick, and then I'm gonna let you go, okay? And then if you have more questions about different strikes, because there are a ton more, I can put another video together with certain strikes if you send me a message and you need them. So from the side, our back kick. What happens with the back kick? Lots of good stuff. Works the low back, works the butt cheek, still engaging the hamstring, still engaging the core. We're gonna start with 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Hands are up in guard. To start the back kick, you put the weight in your front leg, you lift up. So find your balance here first. Now on this leg that's up, heel leads the way, you're gonna push out and you're gonna pull back in and then you're going down, okay? So lift, kick away, pull back in, drop it down, out, in, down. When we do this, you're gonna wanna peek over your shoulder. One, for safety. Make sure there's nobody standing behind you, right? Make sure there's not a chair you're gonna kick, because you don't really wanna kick anything, especially if you don't have shoes on, or if you have your kid there. None of that. So we're gonna look, we're gonna peek. Now it's not a turn of the whole body, it's just a peek over your back shoulder. Make sure it's clear, back and down, back and down. Try with the other leg. Heel leads the way. You're hitting with the meaty part of your foot. The back kick is one of the strongest kicks you're gonna throw if you can do it right, okay? So you're squared up, you're peeking, you're kicking back, you're pulling in, back and down, back and down. Sometimes we repeat it with a nice step forward or a little squat, and we bring our guard up. You'll see all those transitions in a class. So those are my tips and tricks for body combat. What I hope you got from this is to feel a little bit more comfortable tuning into a live body combat class, whether it's virtually, whether it's live in a studio once we get there. I hope that you guys can watch this, learn from it, and if you have questions, email me. My email address is jcanan@ymcagbw.org. Again, that's jcanan@ymcagbw.org. Please let me know if you like this video. Please let me know if you have questions about different moves. What I will say is trying body combat once isn't going to give you the full experience. Give it 3 to 5 times. 3 to 5 times, you're going to fall in love with it. All right, it's going to work some stress out. It's going to make you feel good. It's going to get your heart rate lifted. It's going to burn lots of calories. So until next time, guys, I hope you're doing well. Stay humble and kind to one another. I'll see you next time.